I'm a chronic sleep talker. Even since childhood, I've been known to have conversations in my sleep that can either scare you senseless or make you piss yourself laughing. My little brother was the first to notice. We shared a room in our early years. He woke up one night to find me sitting on the edge of my bed, begging for them not to hurt me. He told me he watched me sit there for at least 20 minutes. That wasn't the part that scared him, though. No, the part that scared him was the screaming. No words, just his older brother's violent shouts that pierced through the darkness and reverberated off of the wooden walls. He told me it didn't stop until my parents came in and shook me awake. I had no memory of the incident, but the whole ordeal led to my brother opting to sleep on the couch for a long while. As I grew into my teenage years, those screaming incidents became more and more frequent. They always ended with my parents barging into my room and shaking me awake with terrified and concerned looks on their faces. I ended up being put on clonazepam in my later teenage years after the sleep talking and night terrors became too much for everyone involved. It's a drug prescribed to people with sleeping disorders, and it really did help with all my late-night escapades. That's the thing, though. I can't say I remember any of those incidents. The proof was there, sure, but no matter how hard I tried, I just could not recall what it was that had me so riled up in my sleep. I moved away from home at 20 and got an apartment in the city a few blocks away from my college campus. I lived alone and didn't want to have a roommate, so I picked up a lot of extra shifts at one of the local pizza parlors. With money tight, I decided not to get insurance benefits from my job. America, am I right? The land of the free and home of ever-increasing rent prices. That being said, when the insurance lapsed and I was no longer able to get refills on my clonazepam, I chose to start recording myself sleeping, just to see if I still struggled with those adolescent night terrors. I set the camera up on my nightstand, facing directly towards my bed. I'd hit the record button every night and skim through the results the next day. For the first week or so I didn't notice anything abnormal. Maybe some light tossing and turning, but nothing to really bat an eye at. However, at around day 9 or 10, things began to take a turn. I noticed that I was turning wildly in my bed, flopping around like a fish out of water. It looked like I was awake, throwing myself around frustratedly, though I knew for a fact that I'd slept through the night.